So as you can see, it hasn't been that bad of a morning. Slow, but still managed to pick up some birds in the first half hour. And I'm just hunting over this spread right here. Got the always put out featherlight decoys, what little I have left. Nice loose ducks here and there. Right out there in front. I got some widgeon decoys. Got more mallards up here, and then I got some widgeon field decoys and floaters. Got some pintails mixed in there. This here, you can see where we cut and what we left. We had biologists out here when we first bought the property. They told us to leave a lot of these grasses here in the center because of the abundance of duck food that they will be looking for. So that's what we did. We left patches of grass standing, and we cut the rest for hay. And I'm just right up here, tucked up against this fence line over here. I'm in a blind that we call Playhouse 1. Playhouse 2, where I was hunting the other day, is over there. Probably about 100 yards on the same fence line. And they're both pretty good shooters, so. And behind us over here is the WRE. A couple of birds just landed on the back slough over there. They really like it back there. I almost set up, but someone told me to just come here to this blind again today. I hunted here on Sunday, and I did very well. I got 7 within the first hour. My camera on the hunt before that fell in the water, and it got soaked, and I had to dry it out, and it wasn't completely dry on Sunday, so the filming that I did do, it had bant, 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 bant sound effects in it as well, so the camera just needed to dry out more. And it seems like it's working now, and we're ready to roll. It is Wednesday, January the 27th, and if you know what that means, we don't have much time left. It was an optional day for me to go into work, and I just decided to see what I could get this morning. So I did not go in, and so far I'm liking my decision to stay here. This blind here actually has a pretty crazy story behind it. I call it Playhouse number 1 because when we first bought the property, this blind was a children's playhouse up in the yard in front of the houses. And I got to thinking, and I visualized that, hey, that might make a pretty cool duck blind. So we lifted it out of the ground with the skid steer and brought it down here, put post holes in, put it in the ground with concrete, and then we used these cedar shakes. Really good cedar shake, actually. A lot of that was here when we bought the place, and we walled it off and made a roof, and it's actually pretty waterproof, windproof. They have to be brushed every summer. It's a chore. They're going to be coming back. I emptied the pond this morning in the first couple of volleys, and they've taken off, but they're going to start coming back. And I bet you if I stayed here till about noon, it might turn out pretty well. I only need 3 more, so we'll see what happens here. But the blinds have to be brushed every summer, you know, and there's plenty of brush here. This one takes about 4 or 5 truckloads, but now it's also to the point where the natural vegetation is taking over around the blind. It's growing in the stuff I've put over it over the years, and like blackberry bushes, you know, the canary grass, it's definitely growing up out of my sticks. So eventually you won't even have to brush it that bad or that much in the summer. The last thing I do, you know, before hunting, about October, is I cut cedar boughs to put on it last on the roof and on the sides, just to add some greenery to it, because everything kind of turns brown pretty quick. So, all right, let's see what happens when we stick it out into the late morning here. Okay, so I looked up and I noticed that a pintail the ducks are most certainly starting to come back. I looked up and a pintail had landed right on the other side of the decoys, and he just sat there. And eventually he just got up and he flew right at me, and he went to this side of the blind, and I dropped him. And he's a beauty. Wow. He's gorgeous. So I dropped him, and he was sitting over there on the water, flopping around. And the mallard, a Drake mallard that I should have shot at earlier, that went off to the side and went to the WRE behind us, he got up and went way out over the field, turned around, and came right for me. Saw the pintail flopping in the water, making splashes, and went right to it. And I got him too. I mean, that was awesome. Absolutely outstanding. And now I only need 1 more. And I think victory, as far as a limit goes, is within my grasp. We'll get a closer look at the birds later when we're over with here and we're done. But really happy with the way this hunt is turning out. It's a nice little pintail. Nice sprig. Nice sprig. Can't stop. Love it when they're just killed. And rigor mortis hasn't set in yet. These feathers here are really popping right now. Look at that. I think a bunch of ducks just landed behind me over there. So, as you can see, what started out as a cloudy day is starting to break, turn into a partly cloudy day. This blind that I'm hunting in was up there at the houses, like I said, a playhouse. We moved it down here and turned it into a duck blind. I mean, I'm not saying I'm a redneck, but it would make a good redneck joke. You might be a redneck if you make a duck blind out of a playhouse. And one of Don's friends, Don is the guy we bought the property with, and we still let him live here. There's 2 houses up there. One of his friends noticed what I did, and he got to thinking, because he had a playhouse in his front yard, had been wondering what to do with it for years. Saw what I did with this one, and then brought his pretty much identical playhouse over here, and that's the one that is on the other side of the fence line. Over there around the corner, and we call that one playhouse number 2. Gotta improvise, and they've turned out to be very good additions to this place. I hope to build more in the future. Well, sometimes it takes a while when you're waiting for your last bird to get your 6th, and the 7th, you know, it takes a while to appear. There's a lot of pintails around right now, for sure. I watched probably 6 single drake pintails come in and land at different points throughout the pond here, but I'm already limited on pintails. And then my favorite duck just happened to fly in, for sure. Got this bunch of buffleheads just landed over there. A pair of green-winged teal came in. I picked out the drake. I had to have him. He's pretty. Got some really nice birds today, for sure. It was supposed to snow today. I was watching the forecast closely. The temperature's definitely dropped here in Western Washington over the last week and a half. It's gotten colder than what it was the first half of January. Today was forecasted to be snow showers and rain mixed. But that happened last night, actually. When I got home last night, it was sleeting out for sure. That died off, it turned to rain, and now it's just a really, really calm, nice day. Slight breeze out of the east, southeast, some sun breaks, you know, and bet you when I pick up here and get out of here, the birds will come back, for sure. It's almost better here between, I think, 10 and 2. A lot of the birds, you know, they'll come in singles and pairs and small flocks and just pile up in here. I did quite a bit of calling today. I don't know if it helped or not. With calling, I do a lot more earlier in the season, and then as we get into like December and January, I lay back on the calls a lot. Just because, you know, I think birds do get call shy, and I never ever call at them when they're, you know, I try to focus on the birds when they're off to the sides and going out to get their attention, you know, and I use this duck commander Drake mallard call a lot, especially in the late season. It does work. I've turned numerous single drake mallards with it late in the season. And I've used the same duck call for years. I've never really felt a need to move on past it for hunting reasons. I use the Primos timber wench. It's a double reed and has the porthole, so you can make it sound like two different ducks. And that's about all I do. If they're coming at me, I might give them a quack. Maybe a little bit slower, you know, and the feeder chuckle. That's about it. And then I have this wing setter 8-in-1 whistle. You can do a drake pintail with it. You can do a widgeon with it. And you can also do a drake green-winged teal with it. That's about it. I'm not hunting geese right now, so I don't have my goose calls. We got to wait for the second weekend of February to start hunting geese again. And trust me, we'll be back in this blind because a lot of geese definitely get killed out of this blind. They like this side of the pasture a little bit more. So, all right, I'm going to go pick up these decoys and get the boat loaded up and take the pod back to the truck and put this one in the books. Well, it turned out to be a really good day, and I'm grateful for the birds I was able to harvest today. I'll show you a closer look at them here in just a moment. So here's just one last look at the spread I was hunting in today. There's the blind I was in. It's in the morning hours, the sun is behind it, which puts it in a shadow, which blinds the birds on a clear day if they're coming in. And I just have, you know, a loose decoy spread. I got pintails, mallards, widgeon, green-winged teal, all the birds I'm kind of hunting today, and I think I got one of each species. I think differently. I think I would have brought this decoy spread in a little closer, but I wanted a nice pocket. The last teal landed right there, for sure. What a beautiful winter day.
Well, here we are. This hunt is over. I'm back here at the launch, ready to take my stuff up in the truck. And this makes it pretty much a wrap. It's curtains here on the west side for me. I plan on heading to Eastern Washington this weekend for a last gun ride effort over on the Columbia Basin. We'll see how it goes over there. I haven't been in a month. And I have to say, this has been one of the better years that I've ever had on the west side for sure. Between hunting the tide flats and hunting the river bottoms up here, you know, I think I killed way more ducks on the west side versus the east side this year for sure. Today, I definitely got my 209th, I think, duck. Yeah. 209 today. I had 202 on Sunday, plus 7. That's a very good hunt. So, a very good year. I mean, that's usually my average, and that's just hunting Saturdays, Sundays. If I could take a day or two off here or there, and the holidays. So, these boats are really, really convenient. You know, I don't know what I'd do without the aquapod. Hunting Willapa Bay, hunting here at the property, you just slide it out of the truck into the water, throw your stuff in, and go. They're super lightweight, no gasoline whatsoever. You can brush them up, you can hide in them, you can lay down in them. I've taken it down the Chehalis numerous times. Most rivers they do fine in, you know, unless there's no rapids. So aquapods are definitely, I don't know, I think they're one of the better duck hunting boats around. So, and I've hunted out of a lot of different big boats, and they just seem more cumbersome for small water. If you're gonna hunt big water, the aquapod is not the way. But places like this right here, you know, you gotta have one. So, check out Use, check out aquapod. Just check them out. Give them a try. I love them. So I got my hands full. I'm going to be cleaning lots of birds today. It's just a part of hunting, you know, completing that full circle. So, but I enjoy it. You know, I actually enjoy after the hunt just as much as I do before, and just as much as the beginning too. It's setting up, spending that time in the morning darkness, sitting in the blind, the hunt, which always goes by too quickly, especially if it's action-packed, picking up, coming back to the truck, loading everything up, cleaning them, and then eating them. You gotta love all of it, and I'm glad and grateful that I've made it my lifestyle over the last 10 years, for sure. So let's take a closer look at these birds, see what they're all about. Here's a closer look at the birds from today. Trying not to get my shadow in the frame there. I'm gonna hold my camera like that, I think. And here's the Drake green-winged teal. Isn't he a beaut? Look at those colors. We're getting ones like you down on the tide flats earlier, and now they're all inland now. Look at that wing. Cream patch, chestnut, spotted breast. It's awesome. I got limited on Susie's. Can only get 2 hen mallards. And that's what I started out with. And this one got hit in the head so hard his eye is bulging out. This is the one here that came in, that got up out of the WRE, circled around the field and came back over me and didn't make it. His foot isn't as orange as others that I've seen this year. But the prize of the day is this one right here.
pintail. Isn't that bird gorgeous? Oh, got ducks falling off the pile. Too many of them. Too many ducks. The law says 7, so take 7. It's got a nice pin on them, for sure. There we go. Yeah, gorgeous bird. Purple there on the side of the head. And that does it. Off to the Columbia Basin.